Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. Today we're going to address a mysterious phenomenon going down with Chanel. Now, Stranger Things Season 4 has hit. Chanel also plays spooky kooky with us with stains that appear and disappear on Chanel bags. And for the occasion, I've watched a video by YouTuber Zaza Zoe. I hope I pronounced your name correctly, sweetie darling. Come in and say hi, Zaza Zoe. Hello, sweetie darling. Zaza Zoe made a video. I'm going to read to you the title. Chanel Classic Flap Quality Issue. What should I do? She asks in her title. I'm going to link Zoe's channel description box down below. Be sure to subscribe to her. Send her some love. Thank you so much, Zaza Zoe. Now listen. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you. All right. We're going to talk about Zaza Zoe's experience with her timeless classic double flap Chanel bag. I think it was a double flap. Maybe it was a mini. No, I think it was a double flap in white caviar. And stains magically appear and disappear on her bag. Interesting. What does it all mean? Well, subscribe to my channel first and foremost and push the join button next to the subscription button. Become a member today. Gain access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon for extra perks. Thank you to all my members and patrons who have already pledged. This video is being filmed live in front of a live virtual audience. I live stream every Saturday on my main channel and you're all invited to join the fun. Hello, co-chattors. So, sweetie darlings, sweetie darlings, listen you guys. Let me show you a couple of pictures. Let me show you the first picture and we get straight into this situation. Okay, so this is the bag in question that Zaza Zoe purchased and noticed relatively quickly after purchasing it that the bag seemed to have weird tiny black dots appearing randomly on the leather strap that's intertwined in the metal gold hardware chain of the bag. And she would try to clean them up with a Q-tip, and then the black dots and stains would reappear in different spots the next day. She would clean them up, and then the next day they would reappear in other spots where they weren't the day before. So this is the bag in question, and I'm going to show you another picture. This is an example of these little black dots, just randomly appearing, little tiny dots on this caviar leather. You see what it is? Just like that. And then she would clean them up with a Q-tip, and then the next day they would be on a different spot. Over and over and over again, right after she purchased her bag. Isn't this weird? It's like some ghost phenomenon. I mean, the bag is white like a ghost as well. So it kind of totally suits this whole narrative of the ghost bag and a ghost using the bag and leaving some ghost residue behind. Except, obviously, the story is not as poetic and as fun as I'm trying to portray it to be. Actually, the solution to this mystery is much more simple than one would first expect. Let me show you the next picture. Ollie's saying this could be sun damage. Jesus says, oh no, the bag caught monkeypox. Kate Moore says MOLG. I don't know what the abbreviation is for that. Anyway, so here's another photo of the mold, Kate Moore. Oh, you corrected yourself from mold to mold. Kate Moore says mold. Ricardo says, oh, but definitely is not humidity, says Ricardo. It's not from no, it's not mold. Now, here's another photo where Zaza Zoe shows us black dots in another part of the leather strap. Now, this is really interesting because at this point, what we notice here is something else. What do we notice here? We notice here that the chain goes through 2 grommets, doesn't it? And you might ask yourself, well, yeah, Dacob, of course, there's actually 4 grommets on a timeless classic double flap, and the chain can move freely through all those grommets. It can, can't it? Yeah, huh. So if the chain moves through the grommets, so Zaza Zoe managed to realize what the problem was ultimately with this bag and why these black dots were appearing after she kept cleaning and cleaning and cleaning and they kept reappearing. Let me show you the next picture. This is a Q-tip of her cleaning and cleaning, and she realized that the grommets were actually starting to rust. This is a brand new bag purchased in the boutique. Just to be very clear, this was not a second-hand purchase. This was, according to her, and according to me, everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, just my opinion, not rooted in any truth or facts, allegedly, everything. So she tells us in her video that she figured out that the grommets were actually rusty and were kind of starting to, you know, like that silver hardware was starting to chip off and underneath was black. And that's what made that leather strap always dirty in different spots, because the leather, you know, you move the chain through the grommets. And so you leave it in the evening in a certain position, and then the next day it would have those black dots in that spot, and then you use the bag, and then, you know, the chains move, and then you leave it in a certain position that night, and then the next day it's going to have black spots. She started cleaning the grommets, and she would get a lot of that dirt off. She also said in her video that she's sorry that she didn't actually film the grommets before she started cleaning them, so that she had more proof to show Chanel. But I don't know if we have another photo to show you guys. This is the last photo. So what happened next is she goes to Chanel. Her bag by this point is a couple of weeks old, in terms of has been purchased since a couple of weeks or maybe a couple of months. And mind you, also really important to note is that she says in her video that she has quite a few Chanel bags. She stores them all in the same room. All of her other Chanel bags do not have this issue. This is important to know for what comes next. What comes next is the classic story that we've heard 1,000 times before of us clients going to Chanel because there's an issue with our product. The issue is on their end. And what do they do at Chanel? Instead of telling us, oh, we're so sorry. I mean, she paid, I think when you recalculate it all in dollars, $9,000 with tax, over $9,000 for this bag. $9,000 plus dollars, including tax, for this bag. Let's keep that in mind. Okay, $9,000. Then she goes allegedly to the Chanel boutique and says, hey, this is what happened to my bag, and explains the situation with the dots, how they were appearing, disappearing, and she would clean them up and then they would reappear. And then she figured out it was the grommets. And the sales associate had the audacity, and she's, mind you, already a client of Chanel. She has several bags purchased from Chanel already. None of the other bags have issues. All of the bags are stored in the same room, or most of them. And the sales associate, so she claims, and the sales associate says, well, you know, maybe this is your problem because you stored the bag in a humid place. So the grommets are starting to kind of, chip or, show a strain of humidity. Girl, the bag is just a couple of weeks old. Then she tells them, or a couple of months, she tells them, no, I have other Chanel bags that I bought from Chanel that are stored in the same space. And they're not showing signs of rusting on the grommets. So no, it's not my fault. But that defeats even, listen, that's besides the point. It's my opinion only here. Chanel is charging $9,000 plus dollars, including tax, for this freaking bag. If you have an issue like this after just a couple of weeks or months, there should be no questions asked, boo-boo. You're paying so much money for this shit that if I come to the boutique and I say, look, there's a problem with these grommets, you take the bag back, you zip it, and you give the client a new bag. Or you say, we're going to send it off for repairs and we're going to exchange the grommets. You can do that as well. It's in your right to do that as well. But honestly, a brand new bag that's been used but already has signs of rustiness on the grommets should not be an issue of, oh, let's send it off for repairs. It should be dealt with appropriately because of the price it costs. You know that bag ain't worth $200, $300 tops. So all those extra thousands Chanel earned for this bag, all that extra money you paid for this bag should warrant for you to get a brand new one right away or get your money back. Bottom line. But this was not enough. As if this was not enough. So, of course, she asked, I think, to talk to the manager. Now, to get this sorted out, to figure out, like, well, how do we deal with this? This is not my fault. I have other Chanel bags that don't have these issues. I store them all in the same place, so it's not my fault of storing the bag in a humid place. Then, listen to this. It gets even worse. The sales associate goes into the purchase history of this lady and tells her, oh, I see here that last year you brought back 2 things already. Like 2 shoes, I think she meant. 2 pair of shoes that had flaws. And she said it made her feel like she's guilty or something. Like, oh, you're a bad customer, girl. Oh, you find flaws everywhere, even when there are none. That was what was implied. And I was like, wow, the audacity to tell a client, oh, I'm just looking up your purchase history, and I see that last year you already brought back 2 pair of shoes. Or was it a pair of shoes and costume jewelry? I don't remember what she said. Doesn't matter. 2 items she brought back last year. And the sales associate says it to make you feel bad. Like, oh, you're the bad person here. I find that vile. I find that despicable. I really, nobody should be treated that way, honestly. And so what if I brought back 2 products that I purchased last year? If they're flawed, yeah, I'm going to bring them back. And who are you to make me feel guilty for it? How dare you? How freaking dare you? It's just my opinion. Mind blown. Mind blown. And if Chanel cannot do a simple return like that without throwing a fit, okay, they must have serious money issues. If Chanel cannot do a simple return like that without throwing a hissy fit, without trying to make their client feel guilty, then they got issues. Then there's something they're not telling us. Honestly. How is this possible? How is this possible? No, I have no words, really. Despina says, I can't believe it. Right? I'm telling ya. So, how is it going now? I think now they're going to send it off, or they sent it off to repairs, and it's going to, what did she say in her video? Something like 6 months waiting time or something like that. At this point, I don't know how it was resolved, if she got money back or store credit, or if they sent it off for repairs and she's waiting for the bag to come back. Let me know your thoughts in the comment sections down below. I mean, frankly, it's disgusting, says Jack. Vanessa says, haha, a lot of Chanel things break down. I go to them for repair all the time because their quality is questionable, says Vanessa. Squickety2 says, do car lemon laws apply on bags? I don't know. Audrey says, it's your right as a consumer to return items that are not fit for purpose. It's their word against yours. If they really want to, go there and be like, no, this is not our mistake. It's how you wore the bag that caused the chipping or the rusting. And then you got to stand there like an idiot trying to prove that it wasn't your fault. I'm like, do I even have to prove anything? I spent over $9,000 on this bag. Why do I have to prove anything? If anything, you got to prove to me why it costs so much. Where in the production does this thing cost so much? Or at least prove to me the quality of it, because obviously you decided to pay that. They didn't force you to pay that much money for the bag. That's on you. I get it. But you kind of commit to a luxury good like that, and you don't want it to be flawed out of the factory, if possible. You know what I mean? Because that defeats the purpose. Yeah. Where is customer care these days, Tina? It defies all logic. It defies all logic. CF says, isn't Chanel investing heavily into private-only boutiques? This could be a ripple effect of a restructuring in terms of consumer relations. More on that in my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave me your thoughts in the comment section down below. And until next time, subscribe and never give up on love. Bye.